Guys, welcome back here to Kings of the Storm 5. I'm Solid Jake.
And I'm Gooby.
And, well, we just saw game 1 here between Maelstrom and Murlocs, Inc.
Very interesting draft there. We got the Double Warrior pickup for Maelstrom on Cursed Hollow.
Yep.
I mean, sorry, Haunted Mines. She's so used to not even casting the map at all that I don't know how to say it.
But map 2 will, in fact, be
yes,
Cursed
yes,
Hollow.
it will. So we'll have to see. Actually, let me check to see who got first pick. Okay, yes. I was going to say, teams really need to stop giving first pick. We saw that yesterday in some of the games where they gave up first pick to Maelstrom, and it seems to come back to bite them every time. So, yes, Murlocs Inc. has chosen to take first pick, first ban, and I'm curious to see if they have a strategy as strong for like the other side of the drafting coin, basically. So.
And we actually see the first ban coming out from Murlocs Inc. on Tassadar.
Yep. And, okay, considering that we're on Cursed, that's fine. I mean, Tassadar is a very versatile hero. Extra vision around all these tight corridors. You get the nice range boost to deny the tribute pickups. So, a very solid hero. Good pick. I can understand that.
I like this. The first ban comes out for, like we said, Tassadar, and then Kerrigan's the response every single time. Kerrigan out of Maelstrom.
Every time.
And Stitches is picked up here by Murlocs. We've seen Atlanta Stitches before.
Yeah, it's very good. So I think we're going to see a double DPS pickup from Maelstrom. This seems to be what they do in this situation whenever they don't have the opportunity to take Stitches in that first pick situation. They're going to usually pick up double DPS. So Vala. Well, Tassadar's already banned out, so that was usually one of the other ones they would pick up. It's possible they'll grab Arthas too. Okay, Tychus falling. Oh yeah, Tychus is the other one that I was forgetting. He's the obvious pick there.
Yeah, Zuna's hovering over Arthas right now. We see that, but they're actually going to be going with Tychus Vala as their first picks. They haven't picked up Arthas yet, so don't be fooled by that. He's still on the table, and this actually gives the option for Murlocs Inc. to grab double tank like we saw in the last
They can, yeah. And we've seen some very interesting counters. It seems as though they're very comfortable with in the situation dealing with double tank because they always seem to get the better DPS dealers in that situation, and they seem comfortable running double tank. So far, all this drafting has been working out well for them. I don't know if it's just that C9 is just that much stronger in their communication and like their play, where they're comfortable on either side of that scenario. But so far, every time that they've been facing double tank or running double tank, it's worked out so well for them.
It has, and like you said, I mean, they already picked up Vala and Tychus. Tassadar's banned out. Now, there's still a lot of assassins available, but I mean, they pretty much have to take something like Falstad Nazeebo here. Nazeebo, at the very least, I think is almost a requirement. Yeah,
a lot of people give up Nazeebo to Cloud9 Maelstrom, and I think that's very interesting now. So we do have that double tank once again picked up, this time for Murlocs Inc.
This is a very Maelstrom. Actually, Maelstrom had these 3 heroes last game.
They did. Those were their first 3 picks. So
yeah. So the draft has kind of changed hands in a little bit. But
actually, the first 7 heroes is the same, just in a slightly different order. We have the Tassadar ban here, where it was Tychus before, but other than that, those 2 were swapped out.
Zeratul Brightwing.
Zeratul Brightwing.
Zuna will be playing as Zeratul. Look at that High Templar skin.
Oh, look at that! Yeah, he spent that. Change on
cash money.
Cash money.
The monkey Brightwing. Oh, atrocious. Well, they're thinking about their next picks here. Now, Stitches, Arthas, Nazeebo, all very strong.
Yeah, so they're probably going to grab Uther and some other damage dealer. Yeah, they have to go with some extra damage. What's available to them? It is Cursed Hollow, so they've done this before too, where they force the other team to grab Hammer. And it's kind of a weird situation just because of how immobile Hammer is. And she's just not good at getting to those situations in a reasonable amount of time. So.
I'd like to see Uther and Falstad.
Falstad's, yeah, I can see Falstad. Falstad, though, is not as much of a powerhouse as he used to be.
It's true, but I mean, you still can't disregard the damage from Hinterland Blast.
Yeah.
Like Hinterland Blast
with
the Ravenous, I mean, there's so much damage right at that moment. And with Arthas in the front line, with Frozen Tempest just kind of keeping you slowed down.
Yeah, and they don't need to use Mighty Gust or any kind of weird shenanigans like that to deal with Nazeebo because they have Nazeebo on their team. So, yeah, I think I can agree with you here. I think Uther Falstad will probably be the pickup, but we'll have to wait and see.
We'll see. They're thinking hard right now. And as this continues through, now, again, Stitches not on their screen right now, but they do in fact have Stitches. We see Nazeebo is actually going to be changing hands potentially. looks like they're debating who's going to be playing which hero based on the comfort levels of the various different heroes they're looking to pick up here. And that's kind of the reason why we don't use the in-game drafting client. You can't do stuff like that. You can't choose who picks first. And, well, it looks like they're leaning towards Uther. They haven't officially announced in the chat.
Oh, that's right. I completely forgot about the fact that Atlanta is very well seasoned on Tyrande. We've seen he's actually probably the player that has played Tyrande the most.
It's him and Arthlon.
Yeah.
It's him and Arthlon.
Arthlon really made it work in the finals past 2 weeks or so, but Atlanta was playing Tyrande well before that. To not as much success as SMG, now Tempo Storm, but still very solid, very solid Tyrande.
I mean, I think he was the first time I saw a game won with Tyrande in a very long time, was on Atlanta. So it's good to see the Tyrande play because she is a powerhouse. She provides a lot of vision, especially on these larger maps. Just the Owl, the Sentinel, you can shoot across the map, Hedwig delivering those packages. And also just the damage from Starfall. I mean, we'll definitely see healing ward here. Like, that's a guarantee. You've got these double tanks. Healing ward is 3% healing every second on an AoE radius. And when you have these double tanks with these big health pools, I mean, it's percent based. It's not number. So it adds up a lot.
Absolutely. So we do see that the final pickup is on ETC, and this actually happened in one of the games yesterday, where they managed to be going up against double tank. They did choose ETC in this situation. I think they still went Mosh Pit. I'm trying to remember quickly which heroic he went. I think they did go Mosh Pit. Didn't end up being a huge factor in any of the team fights, if I remember correctly, but I think they still won. Well, they definitely still won the game because they went undefeated yesterday. So
yeah, they did.
It worked out for them. And they definitely have the DPS advantage with Tychus and Vala. Those guys can put out the numbers really fast. So it's going to be... Yeah, I mean, Uther's going to be doing a lot of work healing up those two tanks on his side of the team, so I'll have to see how it plays out.
Yeah, like you said, though, I mean, just having Tyrande as that pseudo, with Tassadar not available, Tyrande's kind of like Tassadar in the sense that she's very flex. So I'm actually really happy with that pick. But, Kuba, we got some teams to introduce.
Yes, we do. On the blue side, we have Cloud9 Maelstrom undefeated yesterday, undefeated so far today in Kings of the Storm 5. We have Dunk Train on Tychus. Zuna is going to be playing Zeratul. Kenma on Brightwing. King Caffeine on ETC. And Biceps is going to be playing Vala.
And on the other half of the map, we do have Murlocs Inc., who are currently down by 1 game. Atlanta is going to be playing as their tank on Stitches. Nazebo is going to be played by Clown. Tyrande here, played by Spanker. Caterpillar is going to be playing as Arthas, and Equinox playing as Uther. Look at all these light tints. Everything is very, very white. But man, I love this Warden Tyrande skin. Very like Maeve Shadow Song.
Does he have the tiger? No tiger?
No tiger? He should probably step his game up.
Yeah.
Step his wallet up.
So we do have block once again on Zeratul. Once again, I mentioned this yesterday, but Zuna seems to be the only Zeratul right now that is running block at level 1. He's giving up either extra range on that cleave or the cooldown reduction on Blink. So I guess he just feels very strongly about it. He's probably had some games where it really made or break the situation for him, and it saved him. So he seems to swear by that. We also have block for ETC. I imagine he's either going to go... we see groupies or Echo Pedal level 4 into the reset on the auto attack at 7. So it seems, as strange as it sounds, ETC sort of has a normalized build pattern at this point.
You're right.
He's been played enough in competitive scenes, so.
And it's good to see. Now, we do have this, the Kerrigan, or excuse me, not Kerrigan. Kerrigan was very much banned out. Tyrande shooting out that owl. Now, Tyrande and Arthas.
Yeah.
Kind of like a pseudo Kerrigan Arthas. You have the Hunter Mark, you have the Lunar Flare for the lockdown, and just a decent amount of damage output in general between the two of them, especially once level 4 is hit with the Envenom. It's going to be quite scary.
Yeah, that's very true. And, of course, the Howling Blast. And Arthas is no slouch in terms of dealing out damage, too, for a warrior. So they can definitely make some ganks happen. They're going to try to utilize that to its maximum value to get themselves a nice level advantage. We see them setting up for it right here in this bottom lane. They're probably going to, I would guess, go on Kenma if they can. But yeah, this Biceps is just going to be able to dash out. Yeah,
nice poly, just making sure the Lunar Flare can't go down there. And, yeah, just rolling on out.
Yeah, those two heroes are going to be very difficult to gank. And the same can be said for Zuna here and King Caffeine. So I think they really should set their sights on Tychus in mid lane.
I like this aggression from Caffeine coming around the back. He's doing a good job body blocking, dashing forward, and
he's
that will
die.
kill him.
Yeah. Wow, actually really, really nicely played there. Just really good positioning, just to try to get around the Stitches to where he wanted to go to get through that gate.
And knowing your limits too, because early game you can't really tank a lot of tower shots, but Caffeine knew he was able to do it. He took a lot of damage from those towers, but he's just going to be hard thing on back while Zuna swings the lane.
Yeah, so we do have that 1 kill advantage. We can see that that has played into a bit of a level of lead for them. We do have a very early tribute. It's one of the earlier ones that can spawn here. I think it was around 2:15 or so that this one spawned. Yeah. And yeah, we do have it. It's top lane, top center. And it looks as though Murlocs Inc. is pretty well positioned. They do have the hero numbers up here over Cloud9 Maelstrom, and Caterpillar looks to be getting a bit low here.
Yeah, with Caffeine coming up here, or excuse me, Kenma coming up with that phase shift, going to be doing a lot of damage. Caterpillar is getting very low. He throws the Envenom out, but he's taking so much damage. He's going to end up dying here at this rate. Oh, it's not quite enough. The hook there on Caffeine is very good, but again, also not really enough. Kettle sitting there soaking up that healing ward, getting healed up, and the tribute was picked up during all of that by Maelstrom.
Yeah, we do. We have a very, very sustained heavy composition coming out of Murlocs Inc. like we talked about here. We have that. Ooh.
Wow, Zuna getting the kill there, but Biceps gets hooked in by Atlanta. Can they capitalize on the kill? No, it looks like it's going to be turning around. Zuna is going to stay alive in 2-3. Now, it's a 3-for-1, actually.
Yeah, they'll take that.
Yeah, very, very nicely done by Maelstrom. And actually make that for a pick off Stitches as well.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, that said, Clown has been sitting bottom lane the entire time, and that's the reason the numbers don't look so bad experience-wise.
Right.
They're only behind just a little bit, even though they're down 4 kills in the situation. Clown has been doing work bottom, soaking. He's gotten a tower already, and that's why they're able to keep this level advantage kind of close. So.
Well, we can see level 7 talents have been picked up here. We got the double first save, giving both their assassins, and 2 of their assassins, a lot of sustainability. Yep. And pretty standard stuff, but we are seeing battle momentum on Tyrande, and so we're going to be seeing that very damage-heavy style Tyrande with a lot of support on top with healing ward.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that between Uther and Tyrande, there's a huge amount of healing going down between the two. Of course, both of those guys have heals built into their kit, but also with the healing ward and protective shield. Yeah, I mean, they have a lot of work to do with the double tank to make sure that they're healed up, so I can understand absolutely why they picked up these talents.
Caffeine getting real aggressive here with Atlanta. I mean, he's been showing his moves here with ETC, and it's looking good. He has the hook opportunity, and he does miss. Caffeine just kind of casually juking that.
Wouldn't have been a kill there. It was actually just something that would have been applying a little bit of damage.
But with this rotation, though, we have the Lunar Flare, and he dodges very nicely. He actually misses both the Howling Blast and the Lunar Flare. That is enough to kill. They throw that Venom down just to make sure that he dies.
Yeah, that's a good pickup. And I think that there might actually be a tribute spawning in a little bit, so that might be timed out well. It's going to have to spawn really soon for them to get the advantage for it. Yeah, so there is a variable timer in terms of when those tributes spawn. Had it spawned, somewhat close to that kill, would have been a pretty good advantage. Good way for Murlocs to swing back into this game. But as it is, it kind of looks as though Maelstrom is going to be able to hit level 10, and they have a very nice timing window here to get a huge upset in terms of getting kills for this next tribute popping up. And there it is. So they're absolutely going to have a huge advantage for this fight. I would actually recommend that Murlocs Inc. completely abandon the fight here.
I think they will. I don't think they're going to try to stall. They have to defend these giants as it is, and he's actually been scared to do that. He's waiting for them to get a little bit closer. Like you said, that's true. Actually, they're rotating up except for Clown.
They were able to secure level 10 going in, but the position is going to be absolutely in favor of Maelstrom. They have more heroes in between them and the tribute. We do have Mosh Pit picked up for ETC, so keep an eye out for that. That would have been a pretty nice hook. He does have, yes, he does have Gorge, so he might have been able to back him up pretty close to that tower with that Gorge and apply a lot of pressure. But so yeah, as it is, they did end up giving up that tribute. Murlocs Inc. did. That puts Maelstrom at a 2-to-1 advantage here for tributes. If they get one more, they will get that curse to give them a significant amount of push ability. Moving forward.
Yeah, just talking about the heroics here, actually we have this rotation down on Cloud. The Emerald Wind actually trying to come out to knock Cloud down. They wanted to push him down and keep him kind of locked down, but it was kind of used a little bit too soon.
It was timed a little poorly there, and that's kind of unlike Kemba. Usually his Emerald Winds are really on point.
Right.
We've seen some really nice ones out of him yesterday that secured a good chunk of kills.
So that's one heroic that we have here, but I mean, looking at stage dive, we got Strafe, we've got Vortex and the Odin. On the other half, we have Ravenous, Starfall, Army of the Dead, Divine Storm, and Gorge, which is also on cooldown. So with the Divine Storm and the Starfall being used right here, that's a lot of damage available, but we see them just backing on up, not wanting to sit in that.
Yeah, I mean, that sort of was more or less used as a zoning tool. Yes, she does have battle momentum, but I don't see why she wouldn't have saved it for this situation. She could throw, the
was
Starfall.
That 3 tribute? No, we had one in bottom. Okay, I thought there was 3 in a row on top
No.
But no, that was not the case.
Yeah, so I mean, Starfall could be doing a lot of work here to zone out the rest of Maelstrom.
But it's on cooldown.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that he used it.
Yeah. And Caffeine, I mean, that's a threat. We see that Maelstrom's actually, Murlocs think are going down on Dunktrip.
Oh, is this it?
Coming out. Is that enough?
Oh!
Odin is used. And
That's that's a real big problem.
Yeah, that is.
For Murlocs there. They were really hoping to get that kill at least to offset this curse push that's going to be coming down from Maelstrom. And what they choose to do with it, we'll have to see. Do they push out one of the lanes? Do they opt to take an offensive golem here? They have, you know, a good amount of choices to make in terms of what they do, but they have a big advantage.
Zuna is pretty far forward right now, but Caffeine is there. Now, Caffeine doesn't have dance. He's got the stage dive, but that's something they have to consider either way. That can be used on the Ravenous Spirit when that goes down, and they really only have Ravenous and Gorge available at this time.
Yeah. They gotta do their best to sort of minimize the amount of structural damage that they take here, but it's gonna be significant either way. They're gonna lose at least one fort, maybe two, based on the way they're setting things up here. ETC is pressuring quite a bit on the top versus the Stitches, and no pressure mid, but yeah, they're really looking to take this bottom fort.
Yeah, but this big rotation coming down, as soon as they see they lose that watchtower, they back on up. Caterpillar is waiting in the bush. That headway hits 2 members, giving them vision of the 4 members here in the bottom lane. It is 4v4, Stitches and ETC battling out in the top lane, but this is where the action is at. Fort is getting very low, and Zuna's going to go forward to secure that kill. But the Lunar Flare is dodged by Dunktrip at the last possible second. Odin's still on cooldown, so he's got to be careful here. We see the stage dive coming down from ETC, so he makes that instant rotation from the top lane, meaning this is a 5v4 in favor of Maelstrom. Spanker is getting incredibly low, and I don't think he's going to be able to survive with King Caffeine securing that kill. It's very good. But in the back line, Dunk gets hit by the Envenom, and he does not have Army of the Dead, so he's going to fall.
Okay, that was actually a pretty good turnaround there. I really like the Starfall positioning there. It got a lot of the people that were sort of out of position in the top. Equinox is going to be taking some damage here. Kenma gets hooked and gorged. Yeah,
but the Protective Shield goes off, trying to keep him alive. Divine's going to use the last possible second, but it's not really quite enough to keep him alive. They pick off Kenma in return, and they're going to go to this Ward Prison for safety right now.
Yeah, the VP, I think, was really just an attempt to try to get Kenma out of that situation. It was just a fraction of a second too late, unfortunately. So that was a complete trade?
It was dead even.
It was.
Yeah,
dead even.
Yep. So pretty good stuff. I mean, they did lose a fort, so Maelstrom picked up a fort there. So Maelstrom does have a bit of an experience lead at this point in time.
Yeah.
Their curse was utilized, and you know, only getting one.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that. Yeah, Murlocs, nice job defending there. They managed. They barely lost that bottom fort. They almost held that off. And if you have a curse early game, especially against a team like Maelstrom, and you don't lose any forts, like A+, a good defense there. Even still, it was really good.
That Hedwig that was just shut out is a complete giveaway as to where they are.
Oh, of course,
they're gonna. I mean, King Caffeine is the only one here. He is all by himself. Does he have stage dive to get out of this? 19 seconds on stage dive.
Yeah.
So if they managed to just go on him and blow him up, they would have been safe. But they didn't know if he had anyone else around, so they're not going to commit to it.
Yeah, they're going to just trade out golems here. Maelstrom is taking their golem in the bottom lane. Murlocs is absolutely aware of this. We just saw a Sentinel was fired down there that gives the vision to them. Kenma's going in. I don't think that they're going to be able to get there in time to contest it. They're just opting to push this top lane, and they absolutely can either pick up this kill on King Caffeine here, or at the very minimum get the support.
Relentless is getting so much work done. I mean, it's ETC. They hit him with stuns, and he just kind of shrugs it off, keeps walking away. This golem pushing the top, like you mentioned, but Maelstrom is in full-on just aggression mode. That fort's down. They're going for this back wall at the keep, which will force a Hearth out, and here we see it.
Yep, and the reason that they can force the Hearth out here, the level advantage isn't too significant. It just has to do with the fact that they already pushed out that bottom fort. And this just basically gives them a positional advantage. They're a little bit ahead in that quote-unquote base race.
Yeah, and you know, I just wanted, like, that stunning out of their Hearthstone kept them in the lane for longer than they wanted to be there. They wanted to Hearth back to defend this. That opted for 2 of them to stay, and ETC can, of course, stage dive. He has that global presence, even though he's a tank.
Yep.
So that's something they're really playing to right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I actually like them picking up this offensive giant. This allows them to take this back up. They can very safely take out this, grab this bottom tribute here because they know that they have to deal with those siege giants going in.
Yeah, and they got knights to worry about, giants to worry about, and they pick up a tribute.
Yeah, it was a very close game, map presence-wise, but Maelstrom has really done a lot to secure this position. It was, you know, really smart forethought on their part just to, like, during that curse, take out the bottom fort there because they know that it's more likely that they're going to get their golem and be able to push down that lane if they decide to trade golem. So, nicely played there.
Now we see Maelstrom just kind of cleaning up this middle lane. The bottom keep is exposed, but it's still pretty healthy overall. No mules in this game whatsoever, and so that's not something that's really going to be a factor to consider here. But right now, I mean, Cloud9 is soaking all 3 lanes, and Murlocs is not.
Yeah. We do have those level 16 talents picked up. The only big one that I really want to emphasize is the fishing hook. That's just something to keep an eye for. There's quite a bit more range now on those hooks, as you can see there, demonstrated by Atlanta. So just something to keep an eye on. We do have that extra damage output from the Sentinel there with the Ranger talent picked up. Everything else is mostly just pretty standard picks, Blood for Blood, Stone Skin, just to make sure that everyone has survivability. Of course, we do have double bombs on Zeratul now, which increases his burst.
Going right on Atlanta here, doing a good amount of damage, just blinking on out of there, making sure that he's safe. If they manage to lock Zuna down with one stun, they can chain the stuns. And get killed. That's a big hook onto Kenma.
Nice
the team
cleanse.
wasn't ready.
Yeah, the cleanse there was pretty good. That pretty much just prevents him from being gorged in that situation. So good on him to do that, just to make sure that he survives.
Okay, VP goes down. This is big. We see Caterpillar trying to get in position, but the stage dive is there. Ravenous Spirit is used in a great positioning. It's doing so much work right now. Kenma tries to use Emerald Wind to disengage that, but he's unable to do that. Caterpillar has plenty of armies are dead to soak up here. And did Dunk use his Odin yet? I don't think he does not have it available, and he's going to end up dying here. King Caffeine in a rough spot as well. We're going to look for the big hooks, and there is the hook. No follow-up.
Yeah, really big pickup there, though, for Murlocs Inc. They just picked up a 3-for-1. Basically, the whole story was Starfall, used his own people out, and Ravenous Spirit. Like, that was the name of the game right there. That VP ended up not really doing as much burst damage as they were expecting with the stage dive and everyone jumping in on that situation. So, yeah, well played there by Murlocs.
Just great positioning by the Nazebo as well, because, I mean, yeah, blowing people up. The Ravenous is so strong.
Yeah, and it was spaced out well enough so that the Emerald Wind couldn't actually hit him. Yeah, so good spacing there from Clown, just to make sure that there wasn't any easy interrupt there. And basically it comes down to, like, should King Caffeine have saved his stage dive rather than going in on the people that were in the VP? Should he have saved it to hop over the wall to get to Nazebo to stun him out?
Right.
Something to consider.
Yeah, very true, very true. Well, we'll see that rotating down onto King Caffeine, but he'll be able to hearth out of here just in time, and he's going to be fine. This lane getting cleaned up by Murlocs Inc., and we see that Hedwig hitting, actually no one, actually it looks like a clip Dunk trade. Oh, the hook goes out by Atlanta, but Dunk moves on up. Nicely done.
Yeah, good, just good reactions on his part. He knows that he had vision on him from the other team just because of that Sentinel that went by, so he said, okay, I just got to be on my toes here to make sure I get that dodge with my dash. So.
But that's a nice steal on the Knights. I mean, yeah, they didn't get a kill. The Knights were, again, stolen, and that's really nice. Actually looking for that hook, but no dice here. And this should be a curse for Murlocs Inc. right now.
Yeah, and this is actually kind of a big deal if they manage to get this. There's another 30 seconds up before the opposing side boss is up, so they might be able to cap this. If they get a kill or two in this fight, they'll be able to rotate over, take that boss.
Stage dive on the Spanker. He's forced a Lunar Flare on himself and throw down the Starfall, but is it going to be enough? That Gorge should get a kill here. Vortex is actually stalling out the Ravenous for the time being. The Ravenous isn't interrupted yet, but they can't set up for it. There's the grenade. It actually doesn't stop it because of a beautiful cleanse by Equinox, knowing that's what they wanted to do, so they keep that Starfall going. King Caffeine gets hit by that zombie wall. They're going in with the Howling Tempest. Can they get him? No, once again, cleanse coming out from Kenma that time, allowing him to get out of there. Dunk Train is low. He does have Odin still, so he's got a huge health bar available to him.
Yep.
Very back and forth right now.
King Caffeine trying to do a little bit of peel for him. Equinox is actually getting quite low.
There goes Clown, and Atlanta's coming back in, but his health bar is, like, negligible. I mean, he's got nothing left. Equinox is a ghost that'll dissipate in a few seconds. Caterpillar is going to be dying here, and Atlanta has to try to get out.
I got to go back to the beginning of that fight. Like, where was Murlocs Inc.? Why was Tyrande out by herself? Like, it just kind of seemed like the positioning to start the fight off was just not good on Murloc's part.
I think they were getting greedy and trying to, like, catch the rotation. I think they were trying, and they just didn't, like, they made the wrong call.
But, like, why leave Tyrande, of all heroes, by herself to, like, try to cap the... I'm not really so sure I agree with that positioning. It really just didn't end up working out for them. Tyrande got blown up very fast. She was able to get her Starfall off before the fight started, but...
Oh my god! Oh! Across the map, the package was delivered!
Oh, wow.
I mean, Spanker said, okay, where is the safest place to hearth back? And he just shot it right down here. Yeah. Dunk Train was hearthing. Oh my goodness!
And the positioning that it was in, like, there's no way to react to that to try and dodge out with his run and dash. So, yeah, that was pretty nicely positioned there. Sort of makes up for that last team fight a little bit. this actually gives them very good positioning to try and catch this next tribute. They do need to get up there as fast as possible. They also need to defend this golem. So Maelstrom has put them in a little bit of a tricky situation. There are two people, and they are probably going to be able to cap this before Stitches can get up there. He does have the fishing hook. Can he reach in time? He's thrown the hook out. He gets it.
He does get that interruption, but he's in a decently poor position right now. He throws the Gorge down in the Void Prison here, giving time for Kenra to use the face shift to get on in. That's going to be an Emerald Win and a stage dive on top of them. He's securing the kill on Atlanta. Caterpillar is in a terrible position as well. So while the rest of the team is defending this golem, they lost Keep, and they're going to lose 2 members of their team. This is horrible.
Wow, really making stage dive look really good there. Like, that was nice. They're able to put a lot of pressure bottom and say, okay, we can send these 2 warriors up top to just try to stall out the tribute. They got the hook, they got the Gorge. Everything looked nice starting, but like once you see ETC rotate in there, there's just so much mobility with Brightman. Wow. Hitting 3 people with that ranger. Pretty nice, but
I mean, looking at the stats here, we can see Toronto's actually doing a decent chunk of damage. Not keeping up with Arthur's Quiet, but still doing a good amount of damage. Of course, that scales very well in the later game. But that's a second curse in a row.
I like what they did there here. They know they had the advantage. They picked up the golem before they grabbed the tribute. They know this tribute's getting them cursed, so like, why waste time during the curse capping the golem? If you have the advantage, you know you're going to get the tribute anyway. May as well do them in the reverse order to maximize the potential you get out of this curse push.
It's definitely the smart way to do it, because look at this golem not getting hit by those tower shots. He's going to town right now. We can see level 20 has been achieved.
Bolt boys!
Bolt boys indeed, with just the continuous win for Brightwing. And they're desperately trying to hit 20 here. That is Murlocs Inc. But right now, Maelstrom is putting the aggression on.
Yeah, geez, that's nicely done. I'm really liking what Maelstrom's doing here with this composition, just maximizing the mobility that they have between Brightwing and ETC. Like, that actually just made that fight something that was probably manageable for both teams to escape. And no, they just rotate up a bunch of heroes, and things get bad really fast.
Cleanse. They cleanse the hook halfway through, beautifully done by Ken.
No, I think I got clipped by the building, actually. I don't know if it's possible. I think they're untargetable during the hook pull. So,
okay, you might.
But I think the building clipped it and just stopped him there. But well, yeah, really nice push going through, and there's a hook.
Yeah, and we can see
nicely done. He cleanses himself just to make sure that he doesn't get Gorge there. Nicely played.
The Owl goes out. Spanker gets blown up. That Stomp just doing so much damage. It's not looking good for Murlocs. It looks like the Maelstrom's going to be taking this game 2-0. They got Siege Giants. They got continuous wins, just zoning everything out. There goes Uther. There goes Arthas. The Golem has fallen, but this Odin is going to be more than enough to end the game. The stage dive just
body slam. Yeah, that was, I mean, they got a ton of value out of that Ravenous Spirit at the end. It's just not enough. Everyone was just melting way too fast. You have that Golem pushing, you have the Giants pushing. Really, really well played there by Maelstrom. I can't, again, stress how much I think that just the mobility that they have between those 2 heroes, they played that, to the maximum advantage, and kudos to them. They take a 2-0 victory over Murlocs Inc. Maelstrom will be moving forward to the semi-finals of the winner's side bracket here, and Murlocs Inc. is not out. They are going to the loser's bracket, and we'll be able to catch more of their action a little bit later.
That is true. Now, guys, we're going to be figuring out what's going to be happening here. Like you said, Murlocs Inc. loser's side Maelstrom will be facing the winner between Vortex and Evil Geniuses, possibly having to fight their sister team, which... never good to do.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate, but at the very least, it is a double elim bracket, so they're not eliminating each other here. So, I guess of all the tournaments that